What's something only kids who grew up poor would understand? Knowing exactly how cold you have to be before pride stops mattering. I wore the same hoodie from September to March. No zipper, no lining. By January, you could see through the elbows. I'd cross my arms at the bus stop and act like I wasn't shaking. Kid named Marcus rode the same bus. One morning, he looked at me and said loud enough for everyone, "Yo, is that hoodie from last year or the year before?" Nobody said anything, which was worse than if they'd laughed. That October, I opened my locker and found a coat folded on the top shelf. Black, heavy, tags cut off, no note, my exact size. I wore it the next day without telling anyone. Dad noticed it that week. Didn't ask where it came from. Just looked at it for a second and nodded, like he already knew. Marcus grabbed my sleeve at lunch. "Where'd you steal this from?" Mrs. Alvarez, the front office secretary, was clearing a table nearby. She stopped, looked right at him and said, "That coat was donated through the school's winter drive. I put it in his locker myself. You want to keep going?" He let go. She walked away. Here's the thing. I looked it up later. There was no winter drive at our school. She made it up on the spot. Every October after that, a new coat showed up in my locker. Always heavier. Always my size. I asked Mrs. Alvarez each time. Same answer. Anonymous donation. Program policy. She never once flinched. I remember the third coat the most. Dark green. Had this thick collar that came up around my neck. I stood at the bus stop that morning and for the first time in my life, I wasn't cold. I just stood there. Not crossing my arms, not shaking. Just standing like every other kid. I didn't know a coat could make you feel like a person. Senior year, my dad got sick. Couldn't work. Could barely get out of bed some mornings. October came and went. No coat. I didn't think much of it. I was 17 trying to keep the lights on. Dad died that spring. 53 years old. My aunt and I were cleaning out his apartment. Back of his closet, behind his work boots, I found a Walmart bag. Inside were 4 receipts rubber banded together. 1 coat per year. All bought in October. All on layaway. He'd been paying them off $5 at a time. Under the receipts was a folded note. It wasn't for me. It said, "Rosa, same as last year. His locker before 7. He gets there at 7:15. Don't tell him. He's stubborn like his mother." My mother died when I was 3. I called Mrs. Alvarez that evening. She told me my dad walked into the school every October with a coat in a plastic bag. Same instructions every year. She said the one time she offered to pay for a coat herself, he looked at her and said, "I can't give him much, but I can give him warm. Just let me do that." Then she told me something I wasn't ready for. That day in the cafeteria when Marcus grabbed my sleeve, my dad never asked her to do that. That was just her. She said she couldn't stand there and watch someone take away the one thing that man could give his son. I don't think about being poor much anymore, but I think about that coat every single day. Not because it kept me warm, because a man who had nothing figured out how to give me everything, and the only thing he asked in return was that I'd never know it was him.